The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Yo, Trevor, look at what I texted my mom, okay? I said, good night. I love you. Why did I spend 2 hours watching the Canucks play another game when all I have to do is show up for the third period? I could have talked to my mom for a couple hours, you know? Life, man.
You wasted your time.
Life is long, life is short.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome to the postcast here on Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs, co-host of Locked On Canucks and also a Canucks writer with Daily High Vancouver. And I'm joined by my brother, Kyle Bowen, to talk about the Vancouver Canucks putting in another lackluster effort and losing to the St. Louis Blues. It'll be the Canucks singing the blues tonight, but there are some reasons to be positive. We'll get into that as well. And we'll get into Quinn Hughes' dominance, because once again, another night where Quinn Hughes, when he was on the ice, the Canucks were making things happen. And when he was not on the ice, things were definitely not happening, at least not in the offensive zone. But Kyle, lots to get into. Demko returns to the lineup. What was your big takeaway from tonight?
Damn. Okay. So much to go through. So much emotional everything going on in my life right now. Okay. Now I got to deal with this. Another Canucks performance where there's 5 minutes left in the game. They have 19 shots on goal. And they weren't playing the LA Lakers from the early 2000s. They were playing the St. Louis Blues of 2025, man. Unreal. All in all, though, can we be positive just for a bit? And I would actually like point out Demko off the top, but let's talk about the team, okay? Again, let's everyone's pissed off here, okay? Let's save some people some years in their lives right now, okay? Let's be positive. Beggsy, are you proud of the Canucks for being pesky again? Game 26, right? They've already had 9 comeback wins. They're down by 2. I know they're playing the Blues. Still no Miller. Teddy Bluger is taking important face-offs in overtime. Like, that's how depleted the Canucks feel right now. Yet they do it again. They come back from a 2-goal deficit. The guts of this team. It must mean something, right? I know the Canucks are out of a playoff spot right now. But again, the details, the good stuff, it must matter.
Look, I think we know this Canucks team right now is a flawed team, right? And especially when Quinn Hughes is not on the ice, man, oh man, this is a scary team. But if you want to stay positive for a second here, the Canucks, again, they're finding ways to pick up points, even when they put in, really half-ass efforts. And I'm sure Rick Talk and the coaching staff is not happy, but so a glass half full perspective would be the Canucks they only have 8 regulation losses on the season. That's tied for the 4th fewest in the NHL. Only the Vegas Golden Knights, the Washington Capitals, and the Minnesota Wild have lost fewer games in regulation. So that's a big positive for the Canucks. On the flip side, the St. Louis Blues, who again are a very mid team, they're tied with the Canucks in wins right now, and that's not so great.
Whoa! Why you got to hit me with that one right at the end? Bro, they had a dude named Bolduc. I got traumatized. I was like, Alex Bolduc plays for the St. Louis Blues?
He's making a comeback.
Why is he playing way better than Pettersson, DeBrusk, and Besser like in the first 45 minutes of this game? You know what I'm saying? That's just not good enough. But again, let's stay a little positive, okay? 8 regulation losses in 26 games so far.
27 games, yeah.
27. Sorry, I can't count. Failed math 10. I'm offended you. Do the math. That means something. But now we can talk about Demko, because it means maybe even less, knowing that so much of that comes from our great goaltending. And I know Demko allowed 4 goals today. You can question him on the first one if you want. I'm not questioning him on the rest. And in between all of that, for a guy that has a Papatias, Pepto-Bismol, I don't even know what this injury is. The Papatias, the Papasaurus, okay? He doesn't have one of those things anymore, and it didn't look like it. He was really, really, really good. And the score is what? It could have been 4-1 in the second period. He stopped a couple breakaways, did his thing. It's 3-2 going into the third period, and right away, the Blues could have scored 3 goals, but they didn't, and the Canucks got a point because of it.
Yeah, I mean, Demko obviously lets in 2 goals in the first period. They're really hard to fault him on the Robert Thomas one on the shorthanded breakaway. And interesting name for Connor Garland. I'll divert to that for a second, because the guy is such a dog, right? Such a great play on that first goal to us at Dakota Joshua, but he had a couple uncharacteristic mistakes in that game, including the Robert Thomas breakaway. He coughed up
Mhm.
another one that led to an odd man rush as well. So not the cleanest game from Connor Garland, but in terms of Demko, he seemed to get more comfortable as the game went on. And he had some interesting quotes after the game about how, I think he said it was weird,
Yeah.
just preparing for this contest and going into this game with the injury he's had, with learning to play with this injury.
Yeah.
And he talked about having maybe some anxiety about the injury during the game, which I found kind of interesting, just how it would react in different situations. And like you said, it's hard to replicate, real game action in practice. And again, I think it was a really good first step for Thatcher Demko and the Vancouver Canucks. And you felt like if the Canucks end up pulling off this game, we're going to be talking more about those Demko saves, because he made some unreal saves there.
Unreal.
I was worried about I was worried about the paparitis as well when he made that
The
knee save or that
Papasaurus Rex, man.
diving
The
save.
Papasaurus Rex. We gotta make a t-shirt, man. That's so mean. That's so mean, because I still have my Papatillas and he doesn't. But again, it's just been so unusual, so fascinating, so everything with Thatcher Demko. But the dude, speaking of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? We're going dinosaur like. This guy was fearless, man. This guy was fearless the whole time. Like in the third period, being able to do what he did, post to post a couple times, do so with ease, also do so with instinct, because yeah, he's one of the best athletes in the NHL. Just knowing how fearless he was, it was cool to see him be instinctual and not worry about the injury, but just worry about the game and keeping the boys in it. And that's what he did. And yeah, we didn't lose, but we didn't deserve to win. So we got to eat some of those,
Yeah.
for real. We can't just be doing this historic thing time in and time out, okay? And this stuff is starting to scare me, because I'm just going back to the playoffs a lot. I'm like, damn, they did this a lot in April and May too. They thug it out. They get good right at the end, which is great. I'll take that into my toolkit, being super, super resilient and being so gutsy. But it gets kind of annoying, having to wait again until you're down a couple goals for this team to really, really, really start going. And I don't know if you want to save some of the good for the end, because I think we may need that, considering how this episode may go now. So save the Quinn Hughes stuff for a bit later. But man, oh man, again, for the third straight game on home ice, when children, Trevor, you have kids. You have 2 kids. Okay? What if Uncle Kyle, was like, you know what? Go to the Canucks game. Boom, bam. Giving your kids the opportunity to celebrate Christmas early. There's a lot of kids at Rogers Arena. Their first Canucks games are right now, December 2025. The Canucks were cool last year, okay? They're going to Canucks games now, and they're being disappointed, man. Time in and time out. Again, 4 wins and 14 home games. That's horrible. And worst of all, just the effort, man. It's unusual. It's strange, and it's not worth the penny. And the Canucks, they got to look at themselves in the mirror and just stop that. That's not good enough.
The Vancouver Canucks need to be a little bit more like Quinn Hughes, man. It's just like it is unreal. It's starting to remind me of 2021, 2022, or 2022, 2023, where the team just dominates when he's on the ice, and they're lost when he's not on the ice. And you look at the rest of the defense tonight, and I think, to me, it's telling how poor the Canucks defense is when you see a guy like Mark Friedman come into the lineup, makes a couple of nice passes, and you're like, damn, is he like the second best puck mover on this Canucks defense right now? I mean, seriously, right? Desharnais can't move the puck. Myers is bobbling it. Juleson and Susie, I think, kind of struggled tonight as well. And it's like, Mark Friedman makes a couple of nice tape-to-tape passes. And I'm just thinking, like, he was the second best passer in the Canucks lineup tonight on defense. And it makes the decision to scratch Eric Brancham a little bit more interesting, although I think he's slowed down a little bit. Probably deserved to stay in the lineup instead of some of the other guys. I mean, he was practicing with Derek Forbort on the right side at practice today. So I was a little surprised that he didn't get the nod tonight, especially when, again, like a guy like Desharnais, like, what the hell is Vincent Desharnais showing you here?
I got a theory, man.
Vancouver Canucks sweater, man.
I got a theory, man. Do the math. Okay, so maybe Brandstrom, maybe he went to the Taylor Swift concert, man. It was a party, the greatest party in Canadian history, right? Vancouver history. I think so, man. That's what the people are saying, man. Honestly. So maybe he didn't have the best practice, because that's the only reason I would think Tocchet would have more faith in Friedman and Desharnais. Right? Like, what's going on there? Like, what's going on in his hockey nerd philosophy there? Like, again, it must have been some practice related. I don't know. All in all, though, what this actually did, though, was bring us closer to the demotion of Vincent Desharnais. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing, too. Like, you got to do something. And again, I'm a FanDuel, okay? 31 and a half years old. My name's Kyle Bound, and I approve of this message, okay? Dude, I wouldn't do the things I'm about to ask Vinny D to do. But, yo, if they're going into Demko's crease And, they're tripping him in the first 10 seconds of the game. Hey, it's hockey. It's physical. It's the best sport in the world. Things happen. But if they're being physical with Quinn Hughes, and again, they're going back in the crease, take notes, take numbers, and do something about it. Like, do something. You know what I'm saying? Because you know who wouldn't let that happen? And there's a big difference. Let me do the math. Actually, there's only $3.5 million gap between Zadorov and Darnay. Last time I checked, but he wouldn't let that happen. And that's got to stop. That's going to stop the liberties. This is the same team that has already seen people take liberties on Hughes. We talk about the Besser thing as well. Come on. That's got to stop happening. And if he's not doing that and he's net negative while he's on the ice, again, his days are numbered. It's just the truth because this team is trying to get better and he does not make the team better. Brandstrom does. And you could talk about how he might be struggling in recent history, but not more so than Vincent Darnay. You can't tell me that. Again, something happened. Tocchet got this wrong. Tocchet got this wrong. This is a Tocchet mistake, and it kind of cost him. But Trevor, we're talking about 6 defensemen. Again, Pettersson, Besser, and DeBrusque were invisible for 55 minutes, 5-on-5. Actually, Jason Bruff tweeted something out. 5-on-5, not 6-on-5. Because I know DeBrusque and Pettersson and Besser connected at the end, but 5-on-5, the Canucks had 5 high danger scoring chances. None of them involved those 3 guys. So that's why we lost the game. It's the truth. That's why we lost the game. Not this Vincent Darnay thingy or Tocchet was wrong on the Brandstrom. That's not what we lost. We lost because those 3 guys did not step up. And it's the 3rd home game on this homestand. And again, the children, man. These guys ain't thinking about the children, man. Trevor, man. People's first Canucks games right now. And we saw a lot of FTCs today, but I'm telling you, these tickets were on the cheap. Kids were getting early Christmas gifts today, and they showed up and they were excited. And for 55 minutes, I mean, they're gonna remember the tying goal by Jake DeBrusque and whatnot, but it's just again not good enough. And you lost the game, and again, you didn't really deserve to win. So it's just disappointing overall. It is what it is.
I honestly have a hard time faulting DeBrusque, Pettersson, and Besser because yes, they struggled a bit through 55 minutes, like you're saying, but so did the rest of the offense. Like I know they're the top dogs, they got to do it, but they still picked up their points on the power play. There was still a reason at 6-on-5 why the team tied this game. I mean, it's not just Pettersson, Besser, and DeBrusque. I mean, I get that they got to take some heat because they're the top dogs, but
they did nothing.
It's the entire lineup.
Consistent in Columbus. They weren't or against Columbus. They weren't consistent against Tampa Bay as well. Like this is 3 straight home games. Like this is embarrassing what they're doing on home ice right now. Yo, it's expensive out here. Trevor, I only buy toilet paper and tissue paper when it's on sale. Welcome to Vancouver. No, why are you laughing? That's the truth, okay? It's not my trauma, but that's how it is out here. And people are spending money to go to Canucks games, or some people aren't spending money to go to Canucks games. Let's be honest, let's be real. And they're just being disappointed. Like, yo, dude, 4 home wins in 14 games. Like, enough is enough, and it only gets harder. Still a soft schedule. Like, dude, and you know why? Especially, it's not fair right now. Again, it's expensive and all that jazz, and again, the price of everything just going up, make these games count, but also because the Vancouver Canucks fan base last year was exceptional. They did the most, and they're still doing the most with all the saluting of players and just the rallying around. Again, the guys in blue and green are making our dreams come true, but they were loud last year. They were fearsome, Shorthouse, he's in the mix. He's calling this place a fortress. It's kind of sounded like that, and I feel as if we were ready to pop again this year, but this is 4 wins and 14 home games, man. What's going on, man? What's in the water out here, man? Yo, where these guys going to Yaletown every night? Yo, if you're a manager at a Yaletown restaurant, just don't let the Canucks, go in the restaurant before game, pregame the night before. It's all good. It's all good at Apple. We'll just stop it.
Oh man, these Vancouver Canucks. I met with the client today, told me a really funny story about Ryan Kessler in Yaletown about there's some stuff going on at a Yaletown club, and this is an ex-cop, and apparently there's some gang stuff going on. VPD was outside, and then Kessler was apparently bugging the police officer to know who he was, and then she's like, "Do you know who I am?"
Kessler said, "Do you know who I am?"
And she had no idea who he was, and he got all pissed off about it.
Do you know who I am? Yo, why this guy's in a movie every single night then, he's dropping lines like that. Unreal, man. Unreal.
But anyways, the Vancouver Canucks, they need to get out of Yaletown because, like you said, Kyle, 4-6-4, 4 wins at 14 home games. Last season, Thatcher Demko was 23-6-2 at home. 6 regulation losses in over 30 home starts. And the Canucks already have 6 regular options at home. And again, 4 wins and 14 home games. It ain't good. Let's get to some good and bad on the other side. In terms of the good, I want to get to some double Ds on the offense for the Vancouver Canucks. Got some little double D talk on the other side. Again, got to talk about Quinn Hughes as well. Get some of your comments. You're listening to Locked On Canucks, the postcast here. We'll be back after showing it our friends at FanDuel and PrizePicks. You know the deal, baby. If you're betting on sports, you got to go check out FanDuel, okay? Because they are the place to go if you're betting on sports, whether it's NFL, NHL, whatever it is. And right now, if you're a new customer, you can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. I sure hope you didn't listen to the line I gave out earlier in today's show when I said that the Canucks, again, if they won by more than a goal, you would have gotten paid, $24 or $10, but that would have been a loss. That's why you don't listen to me when it comes to betting advice. You should listen to me about Jake DeBrusk, though, and we'll talk about that on the other side. Maybe hit the over on the goal total for him. How about them apples? Again, whether you're betting on props, the game itself, go do so on FanDuel. Again, new customers, bet $5 and win $150 in bonus bets if you win that first $5 bet. And that is FanDuel.com. All right, this episode is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you love the Canucks, if you love sports, you're going to love PrizePicks, the best place to turn your sports knowledge into real money. Whether that's hockey, football, or any of your favorite sports, PrizePicks, they make it easy peasy lemon squeezy to get in on the action. So you can win up to 200 times your money on PrizePicks. Man, oh man. Also get $50 instantly when you play that first $5 lineup. Don't need to win. The $50 is guaranteed. And on PrizePicks, I'm eyeing the hockey board again. The Canucks got a couple more games this week. I'm looking for Connor Garland to get more than 4 shots on goal. I'm looking for at least Pettersson to keep piling up the assists, even though he's struggling at evens a little bit. Whatever you're betting on, okay? Just make a couple prop bets. And it's simple to make picks and have fun with your friends, all right? So on PrizePicks, again, go download that app, use code LOCKEDONNHL, and get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's right, $50 quicker than I can cream my what? PrizePicks. It's time to run your game.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. One love to the Burnaby Gardens, okay? This place going down in a couple of months. This place, the birth of a lot of things. Hey, this place, possibly the birth of the West Coast Bass, okay? And looking after your neighbors. So again, one love to the Burnaby Gardens. Begsy Bowen. Begsy, not talking a lot of ish about DeBrusk, Besser, and Pettersson. I'm surprised, man. I'm surprised you got that much patience, man. Is it because DeBrusk is doing the hardest thing in the world right now, and that's score goals more often than not? Talk about it.
Well, much like the Canucks, again, putting in these half-ass efforts and still picking up points, I think there's still positives within, again, a team that is kind of struggling right now. And Jake DeBrusk, since November 1st, he has 12 goals, okay? That is tied for second overall in the NHL with Sam Reinhart, Leon Draisaitl, and Braden Point. Only Mikko Rantanen, thanks to getting a hat trick tonight, has more goals since November 1st. So Jake DeBrusk, again, getting the job done for your Vancouver Canucks. And Kyle, my bold prediction heading into the season was that Jake DeBrusk would lead the Canucks in scoring, and he's looking in pretty good shape right now. He's a few goals ahead of the next closest Canucks. So again, Jake DeBrusk, it was a bit of a slow start for him. I don't want to say he's been great, but he's definitely been noticeable in almost every game right now. And I thought he looked a bit lost in the top 6 early on, but he's certainly looked like a top 6 piece. And I did see a comment here from Andrew in the comments, basically saying that put Kiefer Sherwood back on that line with Pettersson and DeBrusk. And I think that could be something, because Kiefer Sherwood has, a lot of moxie in his game. Brock Besser, to me, has been kind of the weak spot on that line.
Oh, yeah.
Overall, I just don't think he's looked right since coming back from his concussion. That's a guy that really misses JT Miller as well. Again, I was really hoping to see DeBrusk, Pettersson, and Besser together, see them have some success, but it really hasn't been perfect by any means. I just don't think they deserve as much heat maybe as you were giving off, based on the fact that the whole freaking team struggled and they still picked up points.
No, you're right, and I would love to see just more speed on that line in general, because they're definitely missing some. And Besser just hasn't found the sauce yet completely. Again, makes a nice play over to Petey on the game tying goal, but something's missing. And It's probably JT Miller. It's all good. Again, it's all good. I'm still patient for Brock Besser to bring his ish. That all being said, I'm losing patience for again like only playing for 5 minutes per game, like the whole team, or 7 minutes of attack of being on the attack. That's A, way too passive, and B, way too annoying. You know what I'm saying? Again, and that's not rocket science. Trust me, I would know. Kyle Bowen, KYLEBHAWAN. Okay, 31 and a half years old. Again, I know a thing or two about not lasting long. Okay, and again, you could get it's okay once in a while. It is what it is, but over a couple of months, dude, it's couples therapy. Okay, helps a lot. Talk about it. Where am I going with
Yeah.
this? Yeah, I'm just getting annoyed of these short term efforts. It's cool and all. Thanks for the guts, but they got to be more consistent throughout the game.
Yep, Kyle in the bedroom. He finishes quicker than Alex Burrows in 2011 against Tim Thomas in game 2. Figure that one out, man. Unbelievable stuff. But to your point about this team missing JT, I think Carmen Grewal says in the comments here, this team has no spine without JT Miller.
That's not true, though. That's not true.
Okay, I was going to ask you, what are your thoughts on that?
There's no spine without JT. Yo, the Vancouver Canucks, this version of the Vancouver Canucks, they have a lot of spine. They always try to come back. They always make it close. Even if you reviewed the film on Sunday, after Tampa makes it 3-2, the Canucks could have scored 3 goals. I'm not even lying about that. That's like, look at the film. Maybe they could have scored 4. They had 4 high danger chances in what seemed to be like 2.5 minutes. Like, they just don't fall down until the clock strikes 0. This team has a lot of spine, but they got to be better. Like, you can't just lean on your spine the whole way through. And I think spine's an interesting reference because kind of refers to the goaltending position in the game of hockey a lot, right? Kind of holds everything together, but also it kind of refers to someone like Quinn Hughes as well, because he's everything. He's the whole body. He's the whole skeleton. And we got to actually end this episode soon because there's music being made in the studio, and I'm already a little overtime here. Okay, Five God's gonna charge me. Okay, you know what's his rate? $5 a minute. Do the math. Okay. Anyways, talk about Quinn Hughes. You probably had the micro data, you nerd, in front of you, and again, just another dominant performance from Quinn Hughes, in my opinion, as well. Don't take this guy for granted. He is so fun to watch, so dominant. You want to talk about the word annoying, and no, I don't think he put up points today, but guy was nuts. Beggsy, talk about it.
Quinn Hughes had a unreal night, man. Holy man. Look at these stats right here, man. They're going to blow your mind. So this is Dimitri Filipovic tweeted this out. This is up on Natural Stat Trick as well. The Canucks with Quinn Hughes on the ice tonight. Quinn Hughes played 29-49. In those minutes, the Canucks had 49 shot attempts, 21 shots on goal, 6 high danger chances, and 3 goals. When Quinn Hughes wasn't on the ice about half the game at 31 minutes and 51 seconds, the Canucks had 9 shot attempts compared to 49 with Quinn Hughes on the ice, 4 shots on goal compared to 21 with Quinn on the ice, 2 high danger chances, and 0 goals. Like, if that doesn't scream, holy shit, this team is bad when Quinn Hughes is not on the ice, I don't know what does, man. And it's becoming more of a story right now. And I know Philip Pronic's not in the lineup, but he's not going to be in the lineup for a while. And if they keep sucking this bad without Philip Pronic in the lineup, Kyle, we've talked about it quite a bit over the past episodes here, but is Pascal Vigne going to be desperate enough to make a trade, or is he going to go down the route of saying this group doesn't deserve to be rewarded? Because I think right now, and maybe I'm believing too hard in this team because the efforts have been a little lackluster, that this is still a good team, and we'll see what they look like when JT Miller gets back, but they absolutely need another defenseman because this is brutal.
Okay, Trevor, cue the American music right here, okay? My name's Kyle Bowen, and I'm a man of the people, all right? And the Canucks can survive all of this BS, right? Because of their goaltending, and B, because Mr. Norris himself, a.k.a. Mr. Hart, Quinn Hughes, again, one of the best athletes right now in North America, doing his thing. He's a spectacle, okay? Must-watch TV. You want to introduce someone to the game of hockey, you watch Quinn Hughes, okay? The guy is... I can't even explain it. It's something, again, that you don't want to take for granted. And because of that, I think they're going to survive. They're going to pick up points. They're going to not need to be desperate. And again, things like that are going to buy this team overall more time before Alvin makes that decision. So again, I think that if they still continue to pick up points and wins, Alvin's going to make his little deadline a bit longer. And maybe that seems a little inefficient, not sticking to the plan, but it's it's one of those things, right? Like you want the ability to surround yourself with more wins and points against something that Demko, Lankin, and Hughes can provide allows his team more comfortability while trying to find their game because there's so much work to do here. And do you want this young core that it hasn't been able to handle pressure that well in the past, right? We've seen how they've done it in the past. Do you want them to deal with so much noise? I don't. When they don't need to, and maybe they won't need to as much noise because again, those three guys are just picking up this team a lot of points. Like they'll survive in the regular season.
And, like, again, we've talked about it. Demko does bring that calming presence back there, as Andrew says in the comments. Demko's so calm, like smoking a cigarette after round 4 on your honeymoon.
What?
I mean, unbelievable, man.
Round 4 on your honeymoon, dude? Round 4. Andrew, man, why you lying to the people? I'm pretty sure you're 32 or 32 and a half or something. 30 and a half, 29. You know what? Andrew, thank you. Round 4. I know what oh, no, that's a metaphor. Okay, let me talk here. We're going to end this episode here. Okay, look at this. Demko so calm, like smoking a cigarette after round 4 on your honeymoon. Round 4 at your honeymoon. Stanley Cup Finals after winning, you're smoking a cigar out of the Stanley Cup. How do you do that? Dude, you're smoking a bowl out of the Stanley Cup. That's what I'm doing if I win the Stanley Cup somehow, some way. Hey, Bagsy, sign us out, man. Hit the link in the bio. Join the Discord, join the conversation, the game day thread. It's like therapy throughout the game. The best place to talk about the Canucks on the toilet. One love to the Burnaby Gardens again. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. It's the holidays, okay? That's all I got to say. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, okay? Happy birthday, too. Bagsy, sign us out.
There you go. Kyle Bowen turning the Stanley Cup into a bong once the Canucks win. And we'll be along for that ride. The Canucks winning the Stanley Cup, baby. Let's go. They're a long ways to go, though, right now because they need a lot of damn work, okay? But we got you covered for the ride. Again, if you like what we're doing, subscribe and like this video on YouTube on the podcast side. Go follow us. Leave a 5-star review. We got shirts for sale, not associated with Locked On, but they are looking sexy, fresh. I'm loading up all my stockings with those
Canada
shirts.
on strike. So just do the math. You order a shirt, it might not come in 17 months. And that's bad business, but I don't care because it's just the people, man. Who, you got to be honest with the people. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's not even about we. It's about the Vancouver Canucks. My name's Kyle Bowen. I approve of that message.
It'll be worth the wait, just like the Canucks winning the Stanley Cup and just like you waiting for this next episode of Locked On Canucks. Peace.